As much as I don't judge people, because who am I to judge? I only judge myself on a daily basis. I notice that I judge people by, and I feel like only by how careful and mindful they are with their blessings. I'm editing this now, and it's so funny to observe how carefully I pick words just to not use the word cheating and be loyal. I literally said anything, but just don't cheat. How delicately and intentionally they tend to what they've been given and what they've already built. And it's not only determination and consistency and discipline, it's sensitivity, it's this gentleness about you, it's this gratitude in you that shows up in your day-to-day routine, in your reaction to your anxiety. That's the thing. I feel like I judge myself and my own progress on that. So whenever I see people tending to what they are building, is like, I see you. I really see what you're doing there, you know? A lot of people been asking me, a lot of people. You've been asking me sometimes about discipline and motivation and stuff like that. You've been seeing me do stuff and accomplish things and talk about all of these productivity, creativity things. The way that I found my body, my mind works the best is when I'm scared to lose something. I feel like I transmuted this fear into action, this, oh, let's move because we're gonna miss this. Let's move because we're gonna lose this. You've already come so far and now you're gonna stop. Only when I realized that this fear is great. It's amazing. It's literally here for me as a tool. It's just as amazing as having friends. It's just as amazing as having a motivation, as a purpose, as a goal. It's a blessing. It's something to be grateful for when you wake up. This fear, this little anxiety. As long as you don't let it rule your life, you utilize it like a tool in Minecraft. And not in a way that I'm scared to miss an opportunity, because I've heard that, and I really resonate with it, that God doesn't move through, oh, you gotta be the best. You gotta be first here. You gotta move faster. You gotta work harder. You're gonna miss this opportunity. You know, it's not like you have to rush somewhere because you're gonna miss this. You are always on time. No matter what you do, no matter how far behind you feel like you are, you're always exactly in this perfect timeline spot that you need to be in right now. I wanted to say the best tool for disciplining yourself and creating this relationship with your fear and anxiety of losing something that you've already built is tracking the progress, reviewing every step. I did a few therapy sessions. I feel like I was in therapy for like a month, and something that I came to was I discredit all of my accomplishments. I don't see what I did. I'm on to the next thing already, and I'm just like, yeah, that was nothing. I'm still not exactly where I want to be, so that means everything I did before is nothing. It still didn't get me where I wanted to be. So it's harder to move forward when you don't see what you did. Because even though you tend to your promises, your routines, you still show up to them every day, you still do what you promised you're going to do, you don't tend to them in this gentle, caring way. You don't treat yourself like someone who you love. You treat yourself like someone who you want to hate into being better. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. And I feel like the most productive thing you can do is learn how to treat yourself like your kid. Like that's the most basic thing. I said it already a few times here. But you need to have balance in pushing yourself to your limits and being gentle with yourself in order to call it tending to your promises and respecting your ambitions and goals. Because being loyal to yourself is more in making compromises rather than arguing with yourself and making yourself do things. It's about showing up no matter what by talking yourself into things and not hating yourself into things. Oh, let's talk about why I'm even talking about this. So what I mean by give yourself something you'll be afraid to lose is, I feel like this idea started when I recorded that video about anxiety a few days ago, or like 10 days ago. And I said, the more fear you have, the more you have to lose. And then I rewatched that video and I was like, what do you even mean? Like, I was like, huh? I looked back, I thought about it again, and it made so much sense in my head again. So think about it this way. What is fear? It's some type of anxiety, some type of lack of trust in the present because you're afraid of the past, which is still holding you back, like you have history of events that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to, or you're afraid of the future. And you might be afraid of the future because of the past, because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, or because you just simply don't believe that you're able to do anything better. Like you're not able to see yourself in a better position. You just don't trust. That's fear. How to turn fear into discipline, how to turn anxiety into a tool that you can use in your advantage instead of it using you and draining your energy. You can view it as, oh, let's actually fear losing what I've already built. Let's look back and see where I've come. Let's look back and see what skills I gained. What do I have? What kind of equipment do I own right now? What kind of people do I have in my life? Oh wow, I have all this healthy food on my plate. I have all these opportunities. I can travel. My legs can walk. My eyes can see. What can I lose? Let's count all the things that I can lose. I can lose all the people in my life that support me. I can lose this platform if I don't tend to this blessing, if I don't tend to this responsibility and pressure. I can lose my skill to communicate in certain languages if I don't speak the language. I can lose the skill of articulating myself if I don't write. I can lose the skill of rhyming if I don't write poetry. I can lose the skill of being empathetic if I stop socializing. I can lose so many things. Lose trust by lying. I can lose my reputation by not being myself. I can lose so many things. And so by making that little change of turning impractical fear of the past and the future, what's going to happen if I don't do this, if I don't turn this fear around, not by running away from it, but by using it and turning it into fear of losing what you have. What is going to happen if I don't tend to this garden? Is it going to bloom? Is it going to die? What is going to happen if I'm not loyal to myself? What is going to happen if I start acting in ways that don't resemble the Lord's teachings? What is going to happen if I'm not myself? What is going to happen if I don't notice all the things that I've built and I'm not going to be loyal to maintaining them? What made me think about this also is something that's been in my informational field recently. It's people around me that don't really tend to their blessings. And it's sometimes even me. It's definitely, everything that I see around me is a reflection of myself. I'm not judging anyone in any way. It's me noticing things in myself that I see in other people. That's why it triggers me. I was just saying that I'm not into all the celebrity drama, but I'm just going to talk about this quickly because it's about a person who's been kind of in my life since I was little and kind of impacted me. So I had this discussion with my friends. It's around the misfits. I don't want to spread no misinformation. I'm just going to swim safely on the surface of this idea. But if you get it, you get it. There's been some kind of a situation in the misfits community right now that destabilized the whole idea of the morals we represent. We've been growing and we've been maintaining. We've been preaching and respect and loyalty and family values and true love and sensitivity and being emotionally intelligent, all of these basic humankind things just go down the drain because I notice some people don't tend to what has been given to them. Not to judge anyone, I feel like we all have periods in our lives when we are blinded by some kind of overwhelm, whether it's anxiety or too much work. We just get blinded by our egos and we stop tending to our gardens, to our promises, to our values. We stop representing what we actually represent in our hearts and we get further and further from God. And it's just really sad and also interesting to observe how when you live in this constant sense of stability and comfort around you have so many options, you stop tending to your garden and you stop fearing that you're going to lose it ever. Because even if you can always get something better, faster, something new, something more refreshing, and you stop seeing things that are true and rare as valuable because you are revealed to so many options. I feel like that's the only thing that I will ever judge myself on is are you able to stay true to your heart and be authentic and be loyal before anything else? Stay loyal to who you are, stay loyal to what you represent, stay loyal to your people, to your family, to your partner. That's the first rule in the book. I feel like there's nothing to talk about after that. Everything else is just an extension of whether you're this or not. When you lose this fear of losing, you lose everything. That's why I feel like we need to respect this fear. Understand that, anxiety is here for a reason. It's for these situations when you could not be anxious and easily lose everything because you felt like it, because you had no fear, because you were just having fun. Because it was easier, because you were afraid of something else. Do something, build something in order to keep the fear of losing what you've built bigger than the fear of being uncomfortable. You will always progress if you move with your heart. You will always move forward if you stay in your lane, if you stay focused, if you stay true to the value of love. That's like the basic truth. The answer that I can give you about discipline, how to create discipline. You need to gain something that you'll be afraid to lose. Whether it is history of little wins, whether it is your Duolingo streak, whether it is your to-do list you've completed. I did this today, so I can't lose tomorrow because like I'm gonna lose the progress of yesterday. You know, it's not gonna feel nice. I'm literally not being loyal to that Lisa who was consistent, who was trusting the process all these 3 days. Like, why are you doing this? Like, this is literally disrespectful. Tracking history of your little wins is going to give you this thing that you'll be afraid to lose, and it will force you to be loyal to the vision. That's the small things that don't matter but actually are the big picture. Translate it to bigger goals. Translate it to be loyal to what you've chose. Be loyal to that relationship. Stay loyal to your friends in a sense that keep the relationship going. Keep showing effort in wanting to communicate, wanting to grow, wanting to help, wanting to be there, you know? No matter how hurtful it feels, still like express wholeheartedly, still be very honest about how you feel, you know? You can't mask things. That's still being like loyal and tending to the garden of friendship. Be afraid to lose something. And to be afraid to lose something is to notice that you have it. So I feel like gratitude is the fucking way to fix your overthinking. If you feel like you don't have discipline, like you are constantly in fear, you need to transmute it into, oh, I'm actually afraid to lose all of this that I already have. So I'm going to do better. I'm going to tend to this garden, be grateful for it in action, not just on paper. Oh, I'm grateful that I woke up today, that I have this blessing of breathing this air. And oh wow, the weather is beautiful, and oh wow, this food on my plate, thank you God. But actually, how can you build on it as a way of showing gratitude and tending to the garden? Living your life praising God, being grateful, fearing God. I actually just came to this conclusion. That's what fearing God is just being grateful, living your life as if it's your last day, being loyal to your blessings and respecting yourself from yesterday and looking up to yourself from the future. Yeah, that's beautiful. Practical tip that I can give you. I can show you like how I basically plan my month. I saw that Hamza did it and I was like, that's literally what I needed. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And it's been helping me so much. So basically what I wanted to do every day is to pray, meditate, journal, do gua sha, vacuum, the ab exercise, runway practice, gym, and something else. There was something else. Cold exposure. And so I did this like graph, like a calendar of like each day, and I could check if I did it or not. And that's so cool because you can see like, okay, I did all of this. I didn't skip a single thing from this list yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. So maybe I'm not gonna pray today. No, there's no option. There's no option you're not gonna pray today. You're gonna pray today. And you're gonna do the runway practice today. It's helping you create history of little wins so you can stay loyal to them by being respectful to the past versions of you who've been tending to all of these promises. Praise the Lord and break the law. Now see, this is what it looks like. Gym is pretty consistent as you can see, but look with praying, I was like, okay, we're praying 2 days in a row, and I was like, nah. And I was praying, and I was like, nah. And I was like, okay, Lisa, let's log the fuck in. Gua sha is pretty consistent. That's funny. Look, this is a really bad day. This was a horrible day. I did nothing, but still did the runway practice. You got this. We got this. Keep winning. Love you.